Alright YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today guys, we'll be talking about the Horus stun deck. So, I'm not really like a fan of stun decks, but I can make an exception for Horus. But anyways, right off the bat, I am not running Light and Darkest Dragon. I'm not even running Christia or even a copy of Vanity's Ruler here. They are really good floodgating cards, of course. All of them are level 8s, but you also want to run Trade-In if you want to run those cards as well, alongside the Horus. At least you can dump a card to draw 2 cards. But the main issue with that is there are all URs, and I don't want to craft copies of Trade-In or copies of Light and Darkest Dragon just for the sake of a stun deck. So another good resolution that I managed to come up is go with the next best thing, Fossil Dyna. Although the measly attack for 1200 is okay, I would say, but it does the same thing as well. Other good things here are we are running a copy of the Cashtera Fenrir and the Unicorn, of course, because they are really impactful cards. Just the 2 cards on the field are really impactful. 1 copy of Birth and a copy of Wraithsoth. That's basically what you need. Go second cards like Triple Tactics, Lightning Storm, and a copy of Harpy's Duster are your go-to cards. Choices for Dogmatica Punishment is up to you, because if you don't have a copy of Garura or even a copy of Entis, some other good choice here are the Fossil Monsters. So the Skull Knight pops a monster in the field, and the Skull Wagon pops a spell and trap card in the field. Although they are not trigger effects once they are sent to the graveyard, they need to be activated. Unlike the Entis or the copy of Garura, which triggers once sent to the graveyard, these 2 needs to be activated in the graveyard. So, an optional card that you can use. Also, they are SR and normal in rarity, so it's easy enough to attain. Some other UR cards here that you might not have, I can give some other good choices here. So rank 8s, other good rank 8 monsters, you'll have the Telematech Clatis. So this needs just 2 level 8 monsters on the field. So if you have 3 spell counters attached to this, you can remove the counters and then choose from one of the 2 effects. So you either add 1 spell or 1 spellcaster effect monster from your deck to your hand, which is practically your SETI or whatever spell card that you have. Second, you can special summon 1 spellcaster monster from your hand or deck. So that's still a really good effect though, and you just need 3 spell counters for this. Another good effect or another good rank 8 monster is a copy of Heretic Sun Dragon Overlord. 2 level 8 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, tribute in any number of monsters from your hand or field, then destroy an equal number of cards on the field. Really good card as well. I think this is not a target effect, so that's one good removal. Now the only downside for this is not a quick effect monster. So, and the last card that I would like you to go into if ever you don't have the other URs there is a copy of number 23, Lancelot. So once per turn during either player's turn, this is basically quick effect. When a spell, trap, or trap card or other monster's effect is activated, you can detach 1, negate the activation. So another good card as well, which just basically needs generic level 8s. Back to the main deck, I did not know that summon limit was actually on 3 copies, so might as well gonna max this one out. Scale Drain is basically just a shutdown to most of the meta decks nowadays, and Tikaboo is practically a really good floodgate with the current meta nowadays. Secret Village is a really good card. SETI is your spellcaster, easy enough to summon to the field, and basically shuts down any deck that doesn't have a spellcaster. The downside for this is S.Eyes has the Black Witch, but we'll never know. Sometimes they don't have a copy of Black Witch, and I think that's basically it. For your main deck, extra deck, like I said, you can choose from the cards that I mentioned earlier. And with that, let's go towards the replays, and yeah. Alright, so here we are with the replays, and we're going up against Mannadium here. So 1 Maxi, 1 Cashtera Fenrir, 1 copy of the other Horus monster, 1 Grave, and a copy of Imperial Tomb. So practically it's really good though. At least we have Cold-Blooded Grave if ever opponent drops a copy of Maxi. So to start off, we go for a copy of Fenrir here, and like I said earlier, the Kashteras are really impactful if they are on the field. So this is still a really good card on the field. So with a copy of the Imperial Tomb, gain access to the SETI, spin back a copy of Unicorn to our deck, and then we get a copy of Sarcophagus plus an Ash Blossom, which is pretty good. So we use the effect of King Sark, spell summon the monster in the field, plus the SETI, and that's basically what we have for our board. Not really that much, but it still works on our favor. Like I said, very impactful. The steers are good. So our guy is gonna go for the Samsara in the field. We'll drop a copy of Maxi. He will call by the grave here. So I think that's one downside there. At least if he has the other cards that gain access to more cards, we have Ash Blossom, which he has. Summon the Visa Starfrost, popping a copy of Meek. We'll use the effect of Fenrir to banish, of course, a copy of Visas. He will use the effect of Realm Heart to pop his very own Samsara on the field. And then all I have to do is just banish a copy of Meek from the graveyard with my very own Called By. So he has one card on hand at this point on, and with the banished Starfrost, it was good on our side. Now, I did not know that this card is also named as Visa Starfrost if it's in the graveyard, not just the field. So, yeah, you'll see in a bit. So, with Realm Hearts on the field, he will gain access to one other Mannadium card. Luckily, we have the Ash Blossom for that. So, negated. And then he'll banish the copy of Samsara and the Realm Heart to summon that copy of Asher Loud. So, at this point, he can just pop one card and go for an attack. Doesn't really matter for me. Because he's just going to go for the Fenrir. Just let him have it. So during our turn, I think this is the last turn for us. So we got a copy of Birth, which is pretty good. Go for Birth, gaining access to a Fenrir. Fenrir will search out one more card, which is the Unicorn. Normal summon the Unicorn, and we have Gain. So Fenrir, attack, banish, go for an attack, and this is game. Yeah, not really really crazy for a replay, but that is. So let's go for game number 2. Alright, so here we are with game number 2, and we are going up against Naturia Horus. So we have one Maxi, one copy of Feather Duster, one King Sark, and a copy of Imperial Tomb, which is what we basically need, and one Summon Limit, so that's good. So as long as you have Summon Limit, today's meta is gonna have a hard time. So Sark dumping a copy of Imperial and a copy of Seti. Seti will be spell summoned to the field, and then we dump a second copy for Happy, and that's basically it. That's our board. So not really formidable, but this helps us a lot. So during our opponent's turn, he goes for a copy of Seti here, dumping a copy of Tree, which is when I saw that one, I was like, can I win this game? Not sure. But yeah, when I drop a copy of Maxi, our guy is gonna dump a copy of Ash Blossom. So all I have to do is go for Summon Limit and just pray that, doesn't have any crazy Harpies Feather Duster or any back row removal here. With this, you'll get a copy of Natura's Blessing, but he went ahead for the King Sark at this point on, dumping a copy of Imperial Doom and a Happy, summoning a copy of Seti to the field and Horus. A Seti and a Happy, sorry. And then King Sark will activate on both field, sending his Seti to the grave and my own Happy. So set one card. That's basically it. During our turn, since we have the copy of Fossil Dyna, I need to spell summon the monsters first before we normal summon the Dyna. So we summon our Happy and then summon our Fossil Dyna. So with this, our Happy is going to attack, use the effect of King Sark, and he will trigger his own King Sark as well. So with this, we are free for an open attack for our 3k and 1-2. So take note, he can't spell summon any monsters, so whatever natural monster he has on the field, we can just basically attack. So this is gonna go for defense, and I think this is the second to the last round typically. We just keep on dumping the Horus cards to the grave if ever our Fossil Dyna will be removed. So during our opponent's turn, he just scoop. So yeah, those are typically what your games are like with the Floodgates. So let's go for game number 3. Alright, so here we are with game number 3. We're going up against Snake Eyes here and Rescue Ace. So two of the most tier 1 decks at the moment. And he's going first. We have Maxi. I think that's really the thing that helped us a lot here. One Dyna, one copy of the other Horse Monster, one Harpies, and a copy of the Tomb, which is basically our one card starter. So we're just gonna let him continue on with the combo here and dump a copy of Maxi. Luckily, we did not get Ash Blossom or Called By or Cross Out whatsoever, and he just went ahead with his combo. So typically gaining access to the Poplar, spell something to Poplar. We got another copy of Maxi, which is practically fine. Going for a copy of Hydrant here, gaining access for the Impulse. And with that, go for the temple, putting the Flamberge in the back row, and then going for a copy of IP Masquerena. Now this guy had some misplays at this point on during my turn, so he's gonna put a copy of Hydrant +1 back row. During our turn, all we need to do is just go for Harpies with our Duster, and since he has 2 level 1 fire monsters in the grave, we can just use the effect of Maxi from his Flamberge Dragon. So like I said, really good against other decks as well. So with that, and you might say, I'm winning because of Maxi. Yes, I am. This is typically like a floodgate card. So it's up to your opponent if he wants to continue with the combo or not. Yeah. So we got a copy of our Wraith Soft, which is really good. And a Dyna, which is what we basically need after the turn. So Cashier will be special summoned to the field, activate. He'll use the effect of Impulse, I don't really care. Even he summons the Preventer in the field. So one card that can flip my cards face down. I was really scared if he's gonna flip or use the effect of Masquerena here, but funny as it is, he did not. Since he used the effect of a monster effect here, I can just banish his SP Little Knight because that card is just annoying. So with this, we go for Tomb, gaining access to the SETI. SETI will dump itself to the graveyard +1 card and gain access to the Horus, and we got another copy of SETI. All we need to do is just dump those cards to the graveyards. We'll summon our Horus monsters to the field. That's it, and go for battle. So like I said, he did not use the effect of Masquerena here. He has some other good cards in the extra deck, but I don't know why he did not use the effect here. Regardless, he's just gonna use the effect of Preventer, flip my cards face down, so that this birth won't be useful. So all I need to do is just attack, and then normal summon on the main phase 2, Fossil Dyna. Although he has a copy of original, or I mean the subversion, but yeah, summon limit is still gonna be a big deal. So during our opponent's turn, we activate summon limit. Our guy is gonna use the effect of subversion, putting my Dyna on the back row. Now whatever he summons to the field, I can just use the effect of punishment, send a copy of Endless to the grave, and then pop my own Dyna in the graveyard. So at least I can just spin that back if ever I have a copy of Happy on the field, which is pretty good. So at this point, our guy is going for Anima, so always go with a safe positioning here, guys. But luckily, it's just the monster with the 0 attack. So, there we go. Going for Snake Eyes, and that is his last normal summon. And don't really want to attack, that's basically the game. Alright guys, so here we are with the last game, and we have 1 Unicorn, 1 Harpies again, 1 Sarcophagus, and 2 copies of Summon Limit. So we have 1 card starter here, which is the Unicorn. Here's the effect. We got Imperm. Now at this point, I was thinking, I just need to use the Sarcophagus here, dump 1 copy of Summon Limit, and I don't want to dump either the Harpies or the second copy of Summon Limit. So that's why, but we got Ash. So typically, we don't have any Horus monster in the field, just the Unicorn and a copy of Summon Limit. So, yeah, that's really a bummer. But like I said, this is enough on the field. Unicorn is impactful, and the Summon Limit is really impactful. So, he's gonna go for Bailings and search out a copy of the field spell, which is I'm just waiting, and then so I can spin back cards from the graveyard. So, yeah, if he's gonna activate that spell card. So during our turn, we get a copy of Happy, dump Happy to the grave, plus a copy of SETI. SETI will be spell summoned, Happy will be summoned. So Unicorn, search out a copy of Birth, just activate it, and then go for an attack. Banish that Little Knight, because that is just one of the most craziest cards that he can summon to the field. So go for an attack. Sad to say, we can't remove the summon limit and then dump another Horus monster for a summon for the game, but yeah, it's still perfectly fine. This is really a stun deck. So at this point, he popped the copy of Summon Limit, and then triggered all my effects here since a card was removed from the field. And of course, a monster has been activated for its effect. So I'm just waiting for his either one of the spell cards or his field spell to activate so that I can just banish the cards in the grave. So the last copy of Bailings has been removed, and he's just using 2 copies of Bailings for his deck, basically. Mirage Style will be summoned to the field, spell summoning 1 monster to the field, and then he'll be using those 2 for a Link Summon. Now, Mirage Style, you can also bounce back 1 monster on the field, which he chose to bounce back a copy of my SETI. It's not really like a big problem for me. Going for a copy of Gazelle on the field. Gazelle will dump a copy of Spinny, and then he'll use a copy of Soul or Code of Soul here, and then he'll use the effect of Salamangreat. So he really forgot the effect of Birth here. What we banish here is a copy of Spinning because he wants to spell summon that. Although he has a chance to summon the Pyro Phoenix of the field, but on the next turn I can just Harpies it, Sanctuary, and then go for game with a copy of Seti, summoning all the monsters in the field. So it's still practically game, even if he summons the Pyro Phoenix. So that is our last game. So tell me your thoughts on the new Horus Stun. Did you try it with like other versions rather than the URs, basically? But yeah, that is basically the game for you guys. Keep safe, good luck. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. We'll be talking about the other decks that we can use for the Link and Fusion Festival in the near future. Hopefully it's coming or tomorrow. But yeah, keep safe, good luck. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.